Hello, this is Arcades, and welcome back to some Foundry. It's been a while. So, I bet you're wondering what's new, and let's just say I did a stream over on Twitch, I looked at everything, and yeah, say hello to the new Foundry. What you're looking at here is some of the new stuff in here, and I'm going to be going over it. We even have some old returning stuff with a new coat of paint. And I'll explain what some of this stuff is here in a minute. Oh. I was like, yeah, let me make this cool startup sequence. And I forget to hit a button. Anyways, it's running fine. And what you see here is what I dub my boiler room. Now, I guess I could show you one of these things. This is just some of the new stuff they came in here. But now, what about some of the other new stuff? What else stands out? Well, they added water. As you can see, I get a bit of a water screen to have fun with, but the real fun comes as soon as I step out the door. It's time to go swimming! It's still like early in access, so they still haven't got certain things fixed out yet, but you can do some pretty cool stuff with the water as it is right now. As you can see with this little walkway. I've got all those boilers are creating steam for the minute, and it's traveling down here. I technically don't have this hooked up to anything right now, but I will be showing you some of the new stuff, including this next stage, which they added as a part of the high power stuff. Or the high voltage power. High power. What the fuck am I talking about? And as you can see, we are completely underwater, but in a tunnel. Dude, do you realize what I would do if I had some glass right now? That's the one thing I'm waiting for. We get some decorative blocks. What you're seeing is actually underneath of a river at the moment. And we are traveling from here all the way over to here. This took definitely a bit of time. But I'm sure you're tired of seeing this stuff, or you may like it, but what you want to see is the new stuff. We're almost there. But yeah, so they got the water effects now. You can create, it does a decent job of doing runoffs and such. This is actually, I don't know how to explain it, but there's a bit of an issue with the water in the blocks, but if you do it right, you can use it to manipulate stuff and create some cool things. So this is where the steam leads to. And I ended it here because I have other plans for this. They still have the walkways, but yeah, as you can see, there's a bit of awkwardness with the water, but it makes for a cool effect. And this is the other thing. So, that room was full of those things right there, that's a boiler. They've also added these steam turbines, which now put out 5 megawatts of power for the steam that gets outputted from the boiler. Now, if this thing's maxed out, I think the numbers that I've gotten is, I think, 1 boiler to a turbine. So basically, you need, rough thing off the top of my head, basically you need enough boilers. Take your demand, times it by, or divide it by 5, and then add 1. So if your demand is like 15, that would be 3, and then you add 1, so that'd be 4 boilers, and that will cover, you know, all you need for the turbines. At least that's what I've seen so far. I'm not going to say that's set in stone, but I would say that's probably a pretty good mechanic to go with. They redid the tanks and how the fluids work. I know I never got in my tutorial series into the chemical part, because when they announced, at that point when I stopped with Pack 3, I thought that was a good place to stop, considering they said they were reworking the fluids, and I thought they were going to be coming out with it soon. So I didn't want to create videos for a tutorial on how to play that and do that, only for them to switch it up like within like a month or two, because at the time there wasn't like any real like definition of when what was coming out when. So, and then they had the big change up, the developers, all that. I know I didn't go over that, but you know, they took hiatus because they were rebuilding the game basically into what it is now. And it definitely, the new water stuff, the new stuff was worth the wait, that's for sure. A lot of the older stuff is still the same. Most of the systems are still the same now, if you haven't noticed. The conveyor belts are like half the height they used to be at. And this was a part of another change they made with the loaders. So before, the loaders looked like they had like little like these little flaps that would cover where the item's going in at, but they apparently, you know, issues with people not being able to see what was underneath the loader, which was a valid thing. So instead they transformed it to look like a little teleporter thing. So now you can see into what's the area, and they give you this like little effect that shows you when the item's going in. They also have, if you look closely, they'll have like a little lighting effect that shows you the direction. And they even reshape the top of it to show you direction it flows. So like these have like little arrows going in. These have arrows going out. So not only the color, but you also have the shaping. They redid the fresh coat of paint on these guys, so instead of that bluish color they had, they're now more silver and chrome. And what you're seeing is the world I had built on stream over on twitch.tv as Arcades Test. And it was fun. I think I spent almost 12 hours and got through everything. Now, when I say got through everything, I wasn't like trying to make a huge like production world. I wanted to get through and check out all the new stuff. So, next thing down the thing. So, I guess you could consider this a minor factory tour too, but they've added these combustion, what do they call them? Burner generators. Okay, yeah, burner generators. Basically, they are an actually automated form of the biomass burners. So, they're basically super biomass burners is what they are. They take coal, they'll take the, except they can also take ignum as well as the biomass and burn that. And they have a capacity of 2 megawatts. You know, max output 2 megawatts. And yeah, it's definitely nice. They are a very welcome addition. Like as soon as you can, and they're not that hard to get either. Like they're really low on the research. Now they still do have low voltage and high voltage power. Those burners supply low voltage power. They're, like I said, they follow the same rules as the biomass generators, but it's just except they can burn more. And they still got the biomass generators. They're still here. Now, they used to have these research buildings that you would feed the research packs into. Well, they replaced those. They now have, they call them the research servers. Let me, I think I have one in storage. No. I swear I had one in storage. Anyways, but yeah, they have these research servers, and they each can take a pack in, and as you can see here, hopefully, there is, they'll store in. Now, when you go to do the research, you can use G, bring this up, and you can just click on something and do the research. It'll tell you what you need. You can come over here. Okay, there we go. So you can click on what you want, and it'll show you everything you need to research that in a line. Comes over here, it'll tell you everything that unlocks with it. Like you can see, the steam turbine boiler came with the high voltage power. And high voltage power doesn't show up as near as early. Now, if you notice down here in the demo, all this stuff in the red, that's locked right now. This is what's locked for the demo. And they definitely got some stuff I'll go over in a little bit in there. But, so you can actually put down multiple research servers, and the more servers you have, the faster it researches, but you have to feed each one. So if you have 3, you need to feed 3 of them in order to get the full bonus of having multiple servers. So, you know, it says total research 3, max speed 300%, but it shows you which ones are active. The active ones are the ones that actually have the packs in there to research with. So if you only have 1 with packs, you're only going to get 100%, but 300 max potential. At least, that's how I'm understanding it. And we have the giant square boxes of unimagination still. Sorry, I will never stop. This is just, yeah, no. I've already made my opinion clear about that on the Discord server. You have all these cool machines. All these cool looking machines, and then you have the square box. The wall of square boxes. With the parts that animate on top. I'm sorry. I cannot say enough how much those just need to be redone. Okay, so one of the new buildings they added, one of the new structures, is this smelter. You get it pretty early on, and do I have a spare one? Yes, I have a spare one. The cool things about these guys is they're automatic on what you give them. So, say I grab some of this, and I come over here, and we throw that right there. It knows what to do with it. And you just take it out. You're done. Now, I have noticed there's it's a little weird on the display at times, but that's at the time of this video recording, so I won't worry about too much. But yeah, you put something in, it automatically it automatically takes recipe and outputs what you need. So I showed you with the ferrite. If I was to put Techum in there, it would work just the same way. Now we also have this. This is back. So all I gotta do is come up to here, and I can literally just throw this in. And there it goes. It does what it needs to. So it's a really nice, cool addition, and it you can just literally set up the lines. You don't have to set up the immediate recipe, and it does what it needs to. Okay, so now that we've got, the fluids going, we've got the water. Well, we've had fluids, but now that we actually have water, they added a few other items in here. So we've got pumps now. Okay, as I was saying, we got pumps now. There's 2 versions. You have this one, which is the low voltage, and it requires to be attached to the foundation grid. But if you hold right-click, hold your right mouse button, you will have an option between the low voltage version or a high voltage version. And the cool thing about the high voltage in comparison is it has 3-axis rotations. So you can put that wherever you need to versus... And it gets a little plug on top that says, hey, you hook your power line to here. Now you go to low voltage version and all you get is rotation. Yeah, all you get is rotation. See? Now, what this is supposed to do is just to up the pressure on the system, but I think it kind of acts like also as like a, I guess a one-way valve too, in a way. I haven't really tested it, but it just helps keep the pressure up in your system so that stuff can work properly. But we've seen that it hasn't really been too much of an issue. Now, another new part is... I was going to go show it in use, but I was like, let's just use this here. We have the pipe intake. This takes in the water. Sends it through the system. As you can see, I got water in here for... Now, what's the new concrete recipe? So you make cement, you make gravel, you draw in some water, and it spits out concrete through the casting machine now. And the casting machine even has water input, fluid inputs, so you can do that now. It did before, but they were like, yeah, there was a different mechanism for inputting fluids in the previous build that I never got to cover. That was one of the things that I never got to, but hey, it is what it is. Okay, now as far as tools, we still have the same classic tools. You still have the drill. We still have the detonator. We have explosives. That's still a thing. Oh, wow. Anyways, I was trying to blow it up in the air. I guess it won't work unless it's actually set down. Okay. And then we have this. The little scanner Madiggy. They give you... I think you make one or they give it to you. I don't remember which. I think you have to make it, but... It allows you to look. Now, when you first get it, it only can look up Techum and Ignum. And as you do your researches, it will unlock the other ones, such as the mineral rock down there, which is one of the added things. And the Ignum, which is over here. Yeah, see? Even the maps will now show you, like, there's a thing. It has the grid, you got your ore patches, reservoirs, I think that's the ilmenite. The oil, you get your ore veins. But here's the thing, unscanned areas. So, you see over here in the border, this is where I've ran along trying to look for stuff. There was a bit of an issue earlier. So I was looking around for stuff. But if I click the unscanned areas, it just, unhighlights them. So where it has this part, this is where I've actually scanned at, running along with this thing, just going bleep, beep, 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 entire way. Okay, so the crafting's pretty much the same as well. There's the scanner. We still got the wires. There's the plunger for clearing out the pipes. Oh, yeah. Okay, so the steel also got changed. Now, we don't have the underground miners unlocked as a part of this demo. And from what it's been said on the developer's logs, that has changed. So, or it's going to change. So it's not going to be as it was before. So they, we don't have the layers that we had in the previous builds. It's now just deposits. But they will be bringing back the underground miners to deal with, where's one at? From what I understand, they're going to have, like, fracking as an option. Hang on a second. Okay, so it took me a little while to find it. So this stuff right here, it just says ore vein exterior. I have to double check, but I think the fracking is part of the process of dealing with this. I do know you need the miners. They're going to repurpose the miners to drill into this stuff. At least that's how I understand it. And then these will have a core that has unlimited resources to it. So you have to get through the exterior here, which isn't unlimited, to get down to the main infinite core area. That makes any sense, hopefully? So it's kind of like a Tootsie Roll. You got to get through the center to get to the bubblegum in this. You got to get through the candy exterior to get to the bubblegum interior. So that's the best way I can explain it. Shit. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that really stands out. Let's go over some of the research. Now, so as far as like new things in the research, I already went over it. Oh yeah, they also added an incinerator. So it's kind of similar to like the Awesome Sink in Satisfactory, but basically you throw an item in there, and I think every 3 seconds it deletes an item. So you can feed, like, say, you can have multiple out, and then feed like your packs to it, and it'll constantly get your system run in case, you know, you're done with researching stuff. So you can keep the system moving. There is, in the demo, there's no solar power active, so don't be looking for that. It's all generators. You're going to be consuming fuel in some manner. Let's see. I'm trying to look. Yeah, no, I believe that I covered most everything that was new in the demo already. There is definitely stuff down the line that I haven't touched yet, because you got the Science Pack 3 right here. And they still got all this pack, and we still got the Science Pack 4, which is also locked. You know, we got the Olumite. And here's, like, the old researches. This one's funny, because you got the induction smelter, a lot of these parts, the pipeline, you got the big smelter, you got the slag, you got the blast furnace, intakes, all that's right there, you know. And I'm sure that's going to get repurposed out into, you know, new categories. Even the filter loader. I just, you know, like I said, I just find that funny. But got the large power poles, circuit board still there, large transformer. A drone miner 2 is that far down. It's up to Science Pack 3. Now, here's the cool stuff that got looking at here that's kind of a hint of what's to come. So, we got the question marks here. We got advanced explosives locked in demo. Takes ignium powder and the low density Olumite. So, a fluid assembler? So we're gonna be getting like a fluid assembler, I guess. Pump jack, distillation column, flare stack, refining liquid polymer, unlocks ore scanning Olumite. Got the batteries, of course, chemical processing, the fluid assembler, construction drones. We got a drone port, construction material, modular building planner. The escalators, they're locked right now, but basically they're supposed to be a conveyor belt for you. Because right now when you step on a belt, it doesn't affect your speed. It just moves and you just walk up, which I'm glad, but these will actually allow you to move. And as you can see, it takes just 3 plates. That's actually really damn cheap. And they lay down just like how the walkways do, from what I understand at least. The hangar doors still locked. Inventory size. Jetpack. Yeah, that was released in the experimental version of 0.4, but I don't think it was in the standard version. Maintenance drones. Huh. I wonder what those are going to be doing. I guess we'll find out soon enough. Refining portable fuel. That's probably for the jetpack. Radio tower. Shipping pad. So those are the question mark ones. Maybe in the end we are moving stuff back to a place. Maybe it's like the space elevator in Satisfactory. That's my guess. Guess, you know, I'm more of a Satisfactory player, so, but... mining laser, of course, it's locked that far down. And the old researches, and the solar panels, which are just as... are exactly the same. I was hoping they would beef them up, because they needed a beef, because the regular solar panels, they had the same efficiency. Like, and what I mean by efficiency, they had the same, like, so it's a 5x5, so that means it takes up 25 blocks. And then 650 divided by 25 blocks. Whereas the smaller ones were 3x3, so they were 9, but you get 3 of those together, you know, that's 27 blocks, and you got, like, was it only 200? It might have been 300. They might not have been changed either. I thought they got changed and were cranked up to 300. I'm going to have to go back and check that. But either way, by the time all the numbers came out, they were the same. I think the small actually edged out by like 0.02 or something like that on how much electricity over the course of a day was produced. And yeah, so there was no point in making a large solar panel because they have the exact same efficiency. So it's just cheaper to make more small solar panels. So yeah. I guess that really does it and covers most of everything. The only other thing that I could say I haven't really covered much of is just how the biomes look. Like, the terrain generation looks spectacular. Like, just running around some of this terrain. There is a few pictures I found as I was trying to search for stuff that the terrain just looks amazing. Like, they got, like, they reworked some of the biomes. And let me see if I can find... And I think they got, like, up to... I think I've seen 5 distinct ones. There might be a little bit more. But yeah, at least the biome generation, like I said, it feels a lot more consistent. It doesn't feel as random. And as much as I like the randomness, it was a little too random for me. Oh, it was just a little too random. So yeah, I think I'm gonna pretty much leave that here. There's not much more to really talk about. This is just what's in the demo right now. Because I think I went over most everything. So yeah, hope you enjoyed what you watched. Hope you liked what you saw. If you do, like, subscribe, leave a comment, tell me what you think. Helps the channel out. And yeah, this has been Foundry. This is Arcades, signing out. Have yourself a good day. Whee! It's hard to do it when you don't have cameras.